Hello and welcome to another edition of the Pigskin Preview. Alongside the head coach of the Western Illinois football team, Bob Nielsen, I'm Andrew Bacon. Last weekend, the Leathernecks got back on the winning track with a 44-29 shootout win at South Dakota. Coach, what were your overall thoughts on the win?
Well, good performance, by our team. A lot of momentum swings in the game, back and forth, and really pleased with the second half. Reminded me a lot of the Youngstown game where we came out after halftime and controlled the football game throughout the second half.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights from commentators Drew Hoffman and Josh Dillon.
They stay balanced today. Different look. It's going to be a bubble screen to the outside. Borsellino still on his feet, trying to get to the outside. And it looks like he might have been tackled a little bit by the face mask, but he is up and okay. No call. With Norvell is Baker. It's going to be a shovel pass to the outside. He's got some great blocking downfield. Looks like they're going to be rushing Norvell. It's a give to Devin Moore, and Devin Moore, the first down and some. He's still on his feet. Down past the 20, the 15. He's going to be brought down at the 11. And we got a late flag on the field. Borsellino in motion. Fake handoff. Got a guy wide open. It's the tight end, Larry Harris. That'll be 6 for Western.
I love the play call. Absolutely love it. You fake the handoff, you fake the reverse. The defensive end can't figure out who he wants to go after.
This time it's going to be a give to Baker. Baker cutting it back up the middle, still on his feet. And there he goes. A couple guys to beat, and he'll be brought down around the 48-yard line. But J.C. Baker, little misdirection, and we got a flag in the backfield. It'll be 3rd and 7. It's a give to Devin Moore right up the gut. He's still on his feet using his stiff arm. Here we go, looking deep downfield again. Heisey Scott coming back for it. He's gonna go into the end zone untouched. And Heisey Scott, reservations for 6.
Oh, that works too. We'll take that.
And it's gonna be a give to Jasper Sanders, and that was just read from the get-go by
Jordan Bellows.
One of those guys being Robertson. It's gonna be a handoff to Sanders and Western. Wow. The pursuit of the football has been just amazing as Gino Durley
Going to be well prepared to handle this.
Western's gonna be running 4 guys at Earl, looking over the middle of the field. He's got Schubert again. An amazing catch is made by Schubert right over the middle of the field, and then he gets tackled right in the back by Aaron Diggs.
Well, Coyotes made them pay on that one.
Vandermont running to the outside, trying to get to that corner. What a hit! And
oh my goodness!
A vicious hit by Jonathan Rollins. We got a late flag. Fake handoff, rolling out to his right is Earl. He's got a receiver wide open, one guy to beat downfield. And Potter, the fullback, gets South Dakota up on the board. It's a fake handoff. Earl getting flushed out. He's going to try to get to that sideline. Ooh, and that is a great tackle on the sideline. He's got Robertson in the backfield. It's going to be a give to him, and he is not going to get it. A quick snap, and he's going to dive, and they're going to give him about a couple inches. Pass that first down marker. 10:30 to play here in the second quarter. Earl back to pass. And that is going to be a completed pass as Vandermont able to hold on. Earl, it's a give to Sanders, and Sanders not only got to the line, but he's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. As this game just got a whole lot more interesting. As the Coyotes really struggling on this down. Offensive series, I should say. Streaking down the sideline, depending on where they're given the spot. That'll be enough for a first down. Now being joined by Potter. It's a fake. Rolling out. He's got Schubert wide open. Diving toward the end zone. That hit the pylon. And that's good for 6 more as South Dakota starting to pile it on as they've gotten their 3rd touchdown here in the last 10 minutes. A touchdown lead, but that's going to be blocked as Kevin Kinsel just exploded through the line. And he's still on his feet. That ball came out. And it's all by himself. Martinez Davis. 20, 15, 10, 5.
It's 2 points.
Another blitz. Norvell running out of time, staying on his feet. He's going to take off with it. He will dive forward, and Trenton Norvell does what Trenton Norvell does. He keeps it alive, and that'll be plenty for a first down.
Third and significantly shorter than last time. Only need 4 yards here.
They're airing it out. He's got Morellis all by himself. And that's going to be a huge gain.
Now Western showing that screen formation.
And there's the screen. It's a give to Baker. Baker with a lot of blocking. 10-5. Touchdown, J.C. Baker. Get in there, little fella. Another 6 points as Western has regained the lead 22-20. South Dakota is going to be rushing at him now.
No.
And that kick was partially blocked. And it will take a bounce out of bounds as the Coyotes are going to pick up the ball at the 19-18 yard line. Best kicker in the conference.
Last kick attempt for him, though, was blocked and returned for 2 points for Western. This one, not so much.
The kick is up and it is good. And South Dakota is able to tie the game up at 23-all with 7 seconds left.
What can you attribute to the quick start?
I think our plan was good. 2 weeks of preparation. You hope your plan is good. The thing you worry about is your guys getting back into sync as far as game speed, and certainly we executed very well offensively in the first half to jump out to this 2-score lead.
After the quick start, the Coyotes were able to come back and tie the game at 14. How were they able to come back so quickly?
Well, they executed really well offensively, and defensively we struggled getting them off the field in third and long situations, and it's something that we've had some struggles with all year. And as a result, they put some points on the board and forced us to score points to keep pace with them.
South Dakota scores that third touchdown. The extra point is supposed to happen. Just kind of go through what happened on that play.
Well, Kevin Kinsel makes a great play blocking the kick, first of all, and then that ball becomes live in terms of both teams being able to pick it up and score with. One of those rules that they changed 8-9 years ago now, and as a result, their guy picks it up. Kevin comes back and makes his second great play in the same play where he strips the ball away from the South Dakota player, and it ends up in the hands of Martinez Davis, who runs it in for what's called a defensive touchdown.
How big of a momentum shift was that after they regained the lead?
Well, I think it was one of those little things that makes a big difference in a game. The 2 points did a couple of things, gave us a little bit of momentum when things weren't going well defensively, gave our defense a little shot of momentum, and the second thing that it did is it really made a difference as the game went on. It's really a 3-point swing when you think about it, and what that did to help separate the game later on.
All right, stay tuned. We'll be back after this. You're watching the Pigskin Preview, home of Fighting Leatherneck football.
Is your body holding you back?
Where do you think you're going? I want to go running. Not with that knee, you're not.
Your bones and joints can say no at any age.
Let's not pick her up. What do you say?
Yet a lot of people in pain fight back.
Use your head. Save your back. My bride, my rules.
And regain their lives.
You gotta be kidding me.
Fight for your mobility. Visit anationinmotion.org. A message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
I'll take it from here. I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
Welcome back to the Pigskin Preview. With the Coyotes tying the game right before half, what did you say to the team?
Well, we talked a little bit about two things. Number one, playing better on third down defensively, and the chances we had to get them off the field, and we didn't get them off the field. Offensively, we felt we had moved the ball very well. We made a couple of subtle adjustments offensively against some of the things that they were doing that we thought could help us create a little bit more offense, and how important the first possession was going to be in the second half. Even though we didn't score on the first possession, what we were able to do is kind of back them up deep in their own territory, and then force the only turnover of the game, which is another huge momentum play in football that ended up in our first touchdown in the second half.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the second half.
With Schubert in motion, it's going to be a give to Robertson, and Robertson, that ball's loose. On the recovery is Rollins, and that ball should already be dead because his knee was on the ground. So Western will pick this ball up at the 39-yard line.
I think he just dropped it.
This time it's Borsellino in motion. Fake handoff. Got to get rid of it. He finds Borsellino. Borsellino.
What a catch by Joey.
Borsellino coming in toward the line of scrimmage. To give to Moore, and Moore has a ton of real estate. He's still on his feet. One guy to beat. That's touchdown. As Devin Moore with the biggest play of the game. Last offensive drive. Earl is back out there again. It's a fake handoff. It's a give to Potter, and Potter not only got the first down, but the fullback got probably close to 20 yards on that play. Here's Earl. He's looking to pass over the middle of the field. Almost picked off. And still on his feet. Rushing toward the end zone and finally being tripped up and brought down. As just the strength and the will of Nick Meyer.
Yeah, Marquette Privet, not a guy we talk about very often. 6'2", 195-pound senior defensive back. He knows what he's doing out there. Able to force this extra field goal attempt. Of course, Bergner's good. Shocker there.
So here's Lenore in the offense. He's got all day to throw the ball. He's got Lance Lenore down the middle of the field. And Lenore, he's not done yet. He wants more yards.
That was a 43-yard pickup from Norvell to Lenore.
A shovel to the outside. Baker with a nice juke, just putting a coyote on his feet, breaking his ankles. 30-26, and they're trying to stretch this lead out even yet. Rollout play. Lenore in the end zone. No, that's Borsellino. As Joey Borsellino beats his defender and picks up 6 more points for Western. A quarter of play and 2 games left.
And he's just a sophomore.
And he's just a sophomore. He's one of those up-and-coming guys that is just amazing. It's going to be a give in the backfield, but wrapped up and brought to the ground. Tight end in motion. It's going to be a give to Kilgore, and Kilgore racing to that outside sideline. He's still on his feet. He's got one guy to beat. That's Martinez Davis, and Davis is going to shove him out of bounds. Kilgore back behind him, motion in the backfield. It's Schubert. It's a fake handoff, and then a give to Kilgore, and Kilgore, he is met by 4 Leathernecks. No anything. Kick is up. It's got plenty. And if it's accurate,
it is.
That's good enough for 3 points, as that makes the score 37-29. Play. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line as Western leads by 8. It's a fake handoff. Norvell wanting it all. He's got Heisey Scott all by himself. He beat his defender, still on his feet, and he'll be brought to the ground inside the red zone.
If he's got the time to do it.
Fake handoff to Baker. Norvell. He's got Lenore in the end zone. Lenore making the catch, and the whole team meeting him now, as that makes the score 43-29.
WIU ran away with it in the second half behind a high-powered offense, outscoring the South Dakota offense 21-6. Let's look at the box score. Trenton Norvell finished the game 20 of 28 for 287 yards and a career-high 5 touchdowns. J.C. Baker, 21 carries for 118 yards and a reception touchdown. Devin Moore, 12 carries for 98 yards and a touchdown. On South Dakota's side, Kevin Earl finished 20 of 38 with 251 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jasper Sanders, 12 carries, 55 yards and a touchdown. And then Eric Shufford, 8 receptions for 99 yards and a touchdown. Coach, in the second half, what did the defense do to shut down South Dakota's offense to only 6 points?
Well, two things. We pressured them a little bit more, and as a result, did a really good job on third down. They were 0 of 6 on third down conversions in the second half. And the other thing is, they did get the ball twice into our territory, and really the difference in the game was our defense bowled their neck in the red zone and forced them to kick field goals when we were able to take our red zone possessions and put the ball in the end zone.
As I mentioned, Trenton Norvell had a career-high 5 touchdowns. How has he continued to escalate his play?
Well, he's gaining confidence. He sees things. The more he's played, the more he sees things, the more he's able to make decisions and make those decisions faster. And you saw that. He got the ball out under pressure a couple of times for big plays last Saturday, and we need him to make those kinds of plays. Our offense is built around our quarterback being able to recognize things and make decisions.
With the 5 touchdowns, he now leads the conference with passing touchdowns. It wasn't just a pass, though, Coach. For the run, J.C. Baker and Devin Moore provided a 2-headed attack. Talk about those two guys and what they were able to do against South Dakota.
Well, we were able to create some space for JC in the running game, and part of that was our ability to throw the football effectively, and vice versa. Running the football allowed us to get some one-on-one coverage situations, particularly in play-action pass. JC's a guy that when you can get him a little bit of room, he can make guys miss on the perimeter, and what's really become a nice combination now is with the confidence that Devin Moore's playing with. They're two completely different styles of backs, and over the years in our offensive football teams, to have two different styles of backs is really what we've tried to build our system around.
WIU senior running back J.C. Baker has been through a lot in his life to get where he is today. Here's a sneak preview of his story. The full story can be found on the Pigskin Preview Facebook page next week.
Lowest I ever hit was probably a night that I tried to commit suicide driving my car off the road. That was probably the lowest that I've ever been.
How I describe J.C. Baker, just enthusiastic, one of those people who you see and he just makes you smile. I mean, it's really one of those things where you just kind of see him and he just makes your day better. Like, we'll be getting ready for practice and he literally is right across from me, across like the locker room, and I see him every day and we make eye contact and he just kind of gives me one of these and I always give him one of those, and it's just one of those things where we just get each other.
He's fun loving. He likes to crack a lot of jokes, and he is quiet at first, but once he gets to know you, the nonstop riot act. He likes to just joke around a lot.
When he finally broke out of his shells, we do on deck time. And when you introduce yourself to the team, you say a little, say something inspirational to the team, and his on deck was dynamite.
I was praying about it. I didn't know what to say. I was a new guy. Just kind of wanted to wrap up everything that I had been through and what got me to this point. So I think I knew that I needed to tell my story just because somebody else could have been going through it. Somebody else might have already gone through it. Somebody they know could have gone through it. And I didn't want them to feel embarrassed. Me being addicted to drugs and whatnot, or committing suicide, wanting to commit suicide, isn't something to be embarrassed about or ashamed of. That's something that can happen to anyone. And I don't want to hide from it because it's very real. So I wanted to bring light to it. This is going to be a team that, I'm sacrificing my body for day in and day out, that I'm giving all my time to. Then they need to know where I came from and what I believe in. And so I just allowed God to take control of my tongue. And I said, you just say what you want to say.
What has it been like to coach J.C. Baker?
Oh, it's a joy to coach young men like J.C. He's a guy that comes to practice every day with a smile on his face. His enthusiasm is contagious. He talks openly about the things that as he's been through in his life, and how he values every minute of his experience playing football. And he has become not only a really good player in a program, but a tremendous leader for our program as well.
How unique is he both on the field and off the field?
He's a very unique player. First of all, his skill set as a little back is unique in his ability to make people miss in space and also to run away from people. But I think more so, just his personality and his leadership has made him a very unique person.
What's your favorite thing about JC?
Honestly, I think what I treasure the most about him is just his commitment to doing anything that he possibly can to help the team win. And even though he's a great player with big statistics, you'd never know that. He's the first to compliment all of those around him and be happy and celebrate for somebody else in the program when they do something good.
It is now time for a quick break, but stay tuned as we have the 2-minute drill with Larry Harris on the way next. You're watching the Pigskin Preview.
You always made sure I brushed my teeth.
You told me that smart was cool.
You always told me to dream big.
To all of those parents who took the time to make raising their children their most important job, we'd like to say,
thank you.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thanks, Mom and Dad.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Where do you think you're going?
Is your body holding you back?
I want to go running. Not with that knee, you're not. I'm fine.
Fight for your mobility. Visit anationinmotion.org. A message from the American Academy.
We're now joined by Larry Harris, junior tight end. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Now, for those new to the show, each week we here at the Pigskin Preview try to ask as many questions as possible to our guests, and you probably guessed it, 2 minutes. And so with that, Larry, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Last year you were a fullback, Larry. How's the transition been to tight end?
The transition has pretty much been the same. Tight ends and fullbacks in our system have like pretty much the same role. So learning to play, same playbook, same play running, route concept and everything. So nothing really new to me. It's all the same.
What's it been like to get the ball actually in your hands more than just blocking?
It feels amazing, actually. Like since coming to Western, I really haven't been a huge threat on the offensive side of the ball. But this season, actually, in specific, I've been a really huge threat to other teams, and they have to worry about me a little bit more now.
So is that your favorite thing then, being able to get the ball in your hands?
Oh yeah, I love touching the football. I love being out there in open field, making defenders miss and everything like that.
What was it like to finally get your first couple touchdowns this season?
It was pretty exciting. I had my whole family there at the game, so it was pretty nice to have them there and have them see me actually score in a game. And also it was pretty exciting for me because it was the first one of my career being here at Western.
Is there a player you look up to who was or is in the NFL?
If anybody, my favorite player would have to be Jeremy Shockey. Just the excitement that he brought to the game at the tight end position, and the way that he was able to just dictate the game and how he handled the game so well and everything.
Who's your favorite NFL team?
My favorite NFL team is Chicago Bears, of course. Go Bears.
How do you feel they've been doing this season?
They could do a lot better. There's probably a few Packers fans in here right now. Got a little stuff to talk about, but I think they could do a lot better this season.
What's the team that surprised you the most so far?
Probably the Indianapolis Colts. Just the way that they handle themselves and they perform each Sunday or Thursday night. Like, they just come out there and they just battle to the end of the game and make sure that they just leave opponents out there just without any regrets.
If you had to pick two teams going to the Super Bowl, who would you have?
Probably the Denver Broncos and probably the Indianapolis Colts.
They're both in the AFC, you know that, right?
My bad. Probably, I don't know. The Broncos for sure. The Broncos for sure, but I don't know the other team, man.
That's not the first time this has happened on the Pigskin. Trenton Norvell had the same mess up. He had the Patriots and the Broncos meeting in the Super Bowl, so it happens. But that's all the time we have for you for this week's 2-minute drill. Stay right there, though, as Coach Nielsen and I will look at the Missouri Valley Conference and preview the upcoming road game at South Dakota State. You're locked into the Pigskin Preview.
Is your body holding you back?
Where do you think you're going? I want to go running. Not with that knee, you're not.
Your bones and joints can say no at any age.
Let's not pick her up. What do you say?
Yet a lot of people in pain fight back.
Use your head. Save your back. My bride, my rules.
And regain their lives.
You gotta be kidding me.
Fight for your mobility. Visit anationinmotion.org. A message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
I'll take it from here. I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
Welcome back to the Pigskin Preview. It's now time to see how the other Missouri Valley teams did this past weekend. Southern Illinois beat rival Missouri State 32-22. Illinois State won a back-and-forth battle against Youngstown State 35-21. Northern Iowa pulled out the upset of North Dakota State 23-3. Indiana State fell to South Dakota State 17-32. And then Western Illinois won over South Dakota 44-29. Taking a look at the standings, North Dakota State and Illinois State are now tied at 5-1 marks. Youngstown State and Northern Iowa at 4-2. South Dakota State, Indiana State, and Southern Illinois 3-3 marks. Western Illinois at 2-4. Missouri State at 1-5, and South Dakota at 0-6. Games this weekend: North Dakota State will travel south to Missouri State. South Dakota will host Illinois State in the Dakota Dome. Northern Iowa will travel to Southern Illinois. Youngstown State will host Indiana State. And then, of course, this weekend, the Leatherecks head back to South Dakota, this time to Brookings to battle the 6-4 South Dakota State Jackrabbits. SDSU also won by 15 points last week, like the Leathernecks, winning over Indiana State, as I mentioned, 32-17. Of course, the Jackrabbits are led by senior running back Zach Zinner, who so far has 1,426 rushing yards with 13 touchdowns, and in his career, he has over 5,000 yards on the ground. Besides Zinner, though, there's also wide receiver Zach Winicky, who leads the conference in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns as a freshman. Zinner and Winicky are big game threats, and so, Coach, how does Western prevent those kind of plays happening?
Well, big plays are something that you have to minimize against South Dakota State. Last week against Indiana State, they had 2 plays of over 90 yards for touchdowns, and we learned firsthand last year with Zach Zinner, who we did a great job of playing run defense against, and all of a sudden he pops an 80-yard run for a touchdown that really separated the game in the second half. And what you have to do is you have to make sure your people are in the proper fits and angles. You have to gang tackle and have multiple guys get to the football. The receiving threat they have, he's a big angular kind of wide receiver, and he's able to really go up and get footballs. And if you don't do a good job of playing on the perimeter, they're going to make a big play. Having the senior quarterback back healthy now has given their offense a little bit more confidence, and so we'll be tested defensively.
How is having Winicky come in and play big for them help with Jason Schneider getting some coverage off of him?
Well, they have 2 bigger wide receivers on the perimeter, and so if you had to add some people to the run, now they have a wide receiver on each side of the football that can make a play, and so it's a little more difficult to play man-to-man coverage, and a little more difficult to put that extra hat down in the box.
This will be Austin Sumner's 3rd game back from injury after suffering his injury against the Mizzou Tigers. Coach, on the defensive side of the ball, South Dakota State is led by their linebacker. Talk about him and how the offense is going to have to play against this Jackrabbit defense.
Yeah, I think he's typical of their defense in general. They're very fundamentally sound defense. They're always going to be in the right places. What they do from an offensive standpoint is force you to execute to beat them. They don't make mistakes. They do a good job of trying to keep the ball in front of them and make you drive the football, which has been difficult to do. And one of the reasons why they've been so successful over time is that they're a really well-coached football team that doesn't beat themselves.
All right, this weekend the Leatherecks and Jackrabbits will meet Saturday at 2 p.m. at Coughlin Alumni Stadium in Brookings. That's all the time we have for you on this episode of the Pigskin Preview. For Coach Nielsen, I'm Andrew Bacon. Thanks for watching.